Pandit Maharaj, you were saying something just now.
The black screen that you were asking about, in respect to if it's doing anything for us to the east to the west of him, no. The black screen only serves there as God alone knows what. So on country planning states that this is unlawful, but it's still there.
I want to ask you a question. What's the distance between that fence and your home?
That's about 18 feet or 19 feet.
And it is supposed to prevent this dust that I am seeing here on the surface of this table. That screen is supposed to prevent this from happening?
No, it's not preventing anything. What happens when the machine is running, the crusher, the batching, whatever thing, and the truck's operating there, the dust gets on the black screen, it remains there, and when the breeze comes at some point in time, you will see the dust blowing over and to us, to the west of him. So
how long has this community been here?
Almost 40 years.
Yeah,
Almost 40 years.
at least.
38 years and some months.
Could you give us your name, please?
Elaine Wilkie.
Elaine, how is this concrete batching plant in your backyard affecting you?
Very much so. Right now, you see, I have a cold. I don't usually cough. Since I was a child, I did not know anything about coughing. And earlier this year, I woke up one morning about 4 o'clock and I was coughing from way down inside here. I got very scared about that. And this week again, I have the same thing.
So speaking about that too, what does that say about people in the community who have asthma, who will be in trouble on a regular basis?
Besides, that was one of the concerns that arose from the time this batching plant went up in the latter part.
This house I'm standing in here, this is what? Now it's abandoned?
No, it's not
It
abandoned.
belongs to somebody,
Correct.
but he doesn't want to do work on it because he doesn't know what's going to be happening there. Suppose he's forced to sell and move.
That's not an issue.
So,
The next thing is the presence of that screen. I no longer get any wind from the east. Whatever I get, I suppose it's the time of year when you have the northwesterlies.
have you spoken to the EMA?
We have been to the EMA since the first time we went there was either the 1st or 2nd of December. When we realized what was going on there, we went to them. And eventually we gave them all the information we had. Horace even sent them, the same day we went to them, Horace happened to send them 2 pictures that he had taken the very day. And we started investigating. We found that they did not have any application for any such thing in the whole of Cunupia. So of course there was no approval. It is because we were acting and doing things and investigating that this one eventually went unapplied. And then the upshot of it was they gave him permission. But
Who is the owner of this plant?
Who is the who?
Owner of this plant?
One Motilal and Sons, or RTN Enterprises.
And what is this plant?
It is a concrete batching plant
In a residential area.
in a residential area.
What does that mean? What is a concrete batching plant? For the people watching this, what does that mean?
Okay, it means that they bring in cement, they bring in aggregates, and whatever else is needed, the chemicals needed, and they mix everything together. They have their own cement mixers. We counted 12 of them leaving, I think it was last week, Thursday, between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning. 12 of them left. We cut the numbers of each truck, and 12 big trucks also left.
So they're mixing these things 18 feet from your home?
Well, the batching plant itself is a little farther away, but I think that
I want to walk through here and see if I can get pictures of the houses.
Yeah, you have to go upstairs.
How close the proximity of the houses are.
If you go upstairs here,
What is the distance you think from that screen to
From
the
that
batching
screen?
plant?
From that screen to the batching plant?
Yeah, how far
That's
things
about-
happening behind
Let
it?
me see. Batching plant is directly behind my bedroom. Right? So one lot. That's about 125 feet directly. And so on there's no box. These fields are supposed to act as a buffer between us and what is that happening.
How are you, sir?
I am not fine at all.
You mind giving us your name?
My name is David Bissoon.
Mr. Bissoon, you live in this area, in this community?
I must say, unfortunately, so yes, I do live in Royal Park Extension. This is in Cunupia, just off the Chinchin Main Road. What you are looking at here is a screen that has been put up by a construction concrete batching plant company. And they have put up this screen as one of their mitigation measures with the EMA to prevent dust from blowing over into the Royal Park and the Chincuna developments. Of course, this black screen, as you can see, is quite a distraction.
It's an eyesore.
That's right, it is an eyesore to our community. It has depreciated the values of the properties in Royal Park and Chincuna Gardens, and it has caused a lot of stress for the people who live directly behind the screen.
So in one move, they've made what was prior a residential community into an industrial zone.
Definitely so.
I'm seeing some high-powered lights up here. So
these are floodlights that they use to keep the plant well lit at night. And of course, I don't have to tell you that this light also keeps the residents.
of course. I want you to
night.
tell us your story as to when this started. How long ago this began, how it's affecting you and your family.
Let me start by saying that I am originally from Samoa, and I left Samoa about 17 to 18 years ago. A town that is full of crime and so on, and a very busy life. And I left there to come to this area, to Cunupia, to Royal Park in particular, because when I saw the area, I fell in love with the ambience of Royal Park. We had a lot of greenery, we had a lot of fresh air, a lot of natural beauty, birds, plants, you name it, everything we could find here. We had river courses that went behind this property here that we could go and fish in it. You know, and there was so much to do in Royal Park. Now, my life within the last 6 months, a year, has turned into a living nightmare. And I mean literally a living nightmare. I am now at the verge of looking at wrapping up here and moving out. But where am I supposed to go?
Have they made you all any offers for your
No.
properties?
No offers have been made for our properties. As a matter of fact, not just offers, but they have made threats to people in Royal Park and Chincuna Gardens. Anyone who they feel would challenge them, they have gone out to destroy our name and to drag us through the mud when we are fighting for what is right and for our own lives.
I want you one of these properties here close to the fence and the factory. This is one of the properties that have been damaged, abandoned. What does one do with a property like this, that close to what is now a heavy industrial facility? Mr. Bissoon, what is the go forward here?
Well,
Are you all as a community appealing to the government, appealing to the state, appealing to the courts? Where are you now in this process?
Well, it is strange to know that we have to appeal to the government, because the fact is, this is a private industry that is happening here. And for some reason or the other, the government agencies are leaning towards granting these people approvals. Approvals for something that they illegally started. Mind you, I need to reinforce that, this operation started just about a year ago, and I'm telling you, it was all done illegally. As a matter of fact, the Town Country Planning and the EMA only got wind of this when the people of Royal Park and Chincuna Gardens started complaining to them about this plant going on here. And when we went into them, we found out that they had absolutely no approvals. Neither did they even make applications for the change of use of the land to industry. And one wonders the reason for doing this. Is it because there seems to be a loophole with the EMA in that if you don't get a CEC, then you can get into a consent agreement where people can no longer challenge you? And this is what we are contesting with the EMA.
But to me it seems illegal. Is there a change of use required to build heavy industry in a residential community?
Well, as a matter of fact, if you have to change the use of land from agriculture, which this land would have been agriculture, to change it to residential in the first place, you had to get approval from Town Country Planning.
How do you move from residential to heavy industry?
I cannot believe that something like that could happen in an area where there's already residential.
A rural community, a rural farming community. How do you move from residential to heavy industry? Industry of this nature.
I do not think that is possible, not when there are residential communities all around it.
So are you aware if they have succeeded in obtaining a change of use, or are they operating illegally?
At this point in time, I'm aware that the Minister of Planning has granted them some sort of approval to operate for 4 years. I do not believe that includes the change of use of the land.
What is this license based on?
The license for?
To operate in a residential community. This agreement that the Minister of Planning is saying, what he's given them.
What he has given us a 4-year agreement to operate the plant, the concrete batching plant and the garaging for 4 years, with the opportunity after 1 year to have it made permanent.
Do you all have lawyers?
Yes, we do.
Have your lawyers found out or asked if these people have obtained a change of use to do this kind of work here in this residential community?
Prior to 2 months ago, no, they have not received any change of use, and at this point in time, when we would have gotten a letter from the minister, but no indication as to whether the change of use of land has actually happened.
Mr. Bissoon, if you had to ask the government something today, what would you ask?
I would ask the government, why have they turned their backs on the people, the electorate of Cunupia, the people who have voted for you? How can you choose an industrial estate over the lives of so many residents that live in Royal Park and Chinchona Gardens?
Thank you very much.